Oh, it seems that the Mets are still engaged with JD Martinez. This is all things Mets. This is where you get your latest Mets media. Definitely do me a favor, leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy Mets content and baseball content in general. And let's get into today's topic, and that is the Mets still being engaged with JD Martinez. Yes, we all know that JD Martinez has been, a bit of a target for the Mets. Definitely, we know that the Mets, they were looking for a bat, but they were unsure if they really wanted to spend any money on that bat. And, there was recent reports, with Andy Martino, Will Salmon saying that the Mets, don't really want to spend a lot of money when it comes to getting a bat. And their range is probably $3 million, $5 million left that they got to spend. But to be honest, with the news and the reports saying that the Mets are engaged, in talks and still contacting Boris's camp for the free agent JD Martinez. This is big news because, spring training is literally, less than 20 days away. It's literally going to happen very, very soon. And a lot of free agents haven't signed, and JD Martinez is one of them. So I hope that, this comes to something. I hope that the Mets really do try to get this guy. He's 36 years old. He had a 271 batting average, 33 home runs in 2023. A successful season with the Dodgers. He hit a home run also in the playoffs. I like JD Martinez. I've always liked JD Martinez. I felt like this is a good fit for the Mets. Just in general, at a DH spot, they don't really have a DH guy caliber that can really, take the bulk of the DH, and, just basically focus on hitting. Now, when you think about Mark Vientos and you think about other players, about in the DH position, Mark Vientos is a very young player. So if you just have Mark Vientos as a DH, then, you're going to limit him, because he's young. He needs to use his legs. He needs to, not just be used as a DH. So I think that the Mets, if they were able to get a guy like this, JD Martinez, this would be a big pickup for the New York Mets. Now, nothing is certain. They're still, in contact with JD Martinez's camp. But overall, this is pretty huge news because the fact that the reports saying that the Mets weren't really interested in any other bat when it comes to, the price range of JD Martinez, Jorge Soler, a CJ Cron. I know some people said some things about Eddie Rosario recently, but I feel like this fit right here, JD Martinez, is the perfect fit for the New York Mets. I think, this guy is 36 years old, so you don't have to give him a 4-year contract, 5-year contract. You could probably give him a 2-year contract at most, so you don't have to go the range that you have to go with Jorge Soler. So I get that. But, man, if they were able to get a guy like JD Martinez and slot him in the lineup with Pete Alonso, with Francisco Alvarez, that would be really big for the Mets because the Mets, they don't really have anybody that's in their lineup, that they didn't really have last year when it comes to power. They need a guy like him, like JD Martinez, to lengthen the lineup. Keyword, lengthen the lineup. I really think that this lineup needs some type of thump into it. Some type of a guy that can put some pressure on the pitcher. When you think of a guy like Mark Vientos, Starling Marte, these guys, they're not really putting pressure on the pitcher. But if you get a guy like JD Martinez in that lineup with Pete Alonso, definitely, they're going to pitch to Pete Alonso more carefully. And, and JD Martinez is going to get pitches to hit. If they slot him in that spot, man, I really think JD Martinez would be a really good fit for the New York Mets. Let me know what you guys think about JD Martinez. How do you feel about this, JD Martinez news? I know a lot of people, just want the season to get started. Spring training is about to, happen soon. So I really think that just in general, we need to, I know a lot of Mets fans also want to play the young players, and I get that, and stay with the young players, and that makes sense. It definitely does. And David Stearns seems like he wants to give the young players a chance, and that makes sense as well. But when you think of a guy like JD Martinez, a guy that can really change your lineup, just lengthen your lineup, that is worth it to me. I think JD Martinez was needed in the Mets as a DH for years, but it never happened. The Dodgers were able to pick him up last year, and I really wanted the Mets to pick him up, but it just didn't happen. I hope that the Mets somehow get this deal done. Maybe a 2-year deal. I hope that it's not a very expensive deal. But even if it is, the Mets have the money. It's not like they don't have the money. They just don't want to spend the money. We seen the offer, that they gave to Yoshinobu Yamamoto, okay? And that was a different case because he's younger. He was 25 years old. He was a young guy, and he, works to their... He worked in their future plans. But JD Martinez really doesn't work in the future plans of the New York Mets. So I think David Stearns and the Mets are really considering adding a bat like JD Martinez. Definitely the fact that they're still being engaged in talks with this guy is pretty big. But nothing could come into fruition. No deal can happen. As recently reported with Andy Martino at SNY, no, they're not in the deal zone yet. So we don't know what's going to happen with that. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think about JD Martinez. What do you think about the Mets right now? How do you feel about a potential bat like JD Martinez being in the lineup? Do you think that it would be good for the lineup? Do you think that, maybe they just need to just give the young guys a chance and just stay with the young guys? Let me know what you guys think. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Definitely do me a favor. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, man, I'm out of here.